this day. It's kind of like living in that tension of, generosity and also wisdom and discernment. It's like, um, God calls us to be generous, and at the same time, it's like, okay, what are my motives? All of us, and I think I struggle with, um, okay, but I want to be discerning as well. I don't want to give, do I give
Mhm.
up everything? And then I wonder why, okay, why I'm in this state of destitution and I have no money to pay my bills. Like, well, you gave everything away, so there is a balance,
Yeah,
that you have to strike.
it there is a tension because I mean, even in the passage that you read, I mean, it's pretty extreme. Sell your possessions, give to the poor. Uh, that's pretty extreme.
It
Um,
is.
I guess it doesn't say sell all your possessions. Maybe it implies that.
Well, I think that's what we go to. I think oftentimes maybe we kind of go to the extreme
uh,
and
Jesus almost seems to be making a joke. You know, there's flowers, there's birds. You're more even valuable than birds, more valuable than birds. Duh. But he's kind of, I envision him smiling, saying, um,
Mhm.
"Don't you think you're more valuable than a bird?" You know. Um, and then later on, which you read, it says he's pleased. Fear not, little flock. He's using another animal metaphor. Your father's pleased to give you the kingdom.
Mhm.
Talk about the reactions you see from those people, and if those people have a better sense of God loving them, like of their value
Mm.
because of that.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because it's a mixed bag, to be honest. We've seen people that respond, very well, and they see and notice that, that this isn't us, Chris and Jen providing this. This is God providing this and blessing them. And they go off kind of with a different mindset. They go into the world with a different mindset. And they seem to flourish and do well. And then we've had others that, it's quite the opposite. It was more like, this is, I've earned this, I deserve this, they owe this to me or whatever. And unfortunately, they don't leave in that same mindset. And again, we always kind of worry about, them and where they are and
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing, what they're going, or where they're going. um, so yeah,
It's
it goes both ways.
it's interesting to me that people can receive something for free, and like you said, still feel like they deserve it. Uh, whatever whatever that mentality is,
Hmm.
entitlement maybe,
Yeah.
and how if you think you deserve it, then you're still maintaining control
Yep.
over it somehow, um, which just seems so weird. Versus recognizing that it's something outside of you,
Hmm.
that came from something to bless you. That even people who are in great need can still have an entitlement
Yeah.
mentality. Um, how does God cure that?
Wow. Yeah. That it's a heart issue. And I think, part of it goes into this verse in Luke where it says, but seek his kingdom and these things will be given to you as well. I think that's a key passage of what we've been reading. And I think, by seeking his kingdom, I think it changes your heart. For me, I think it's, a lot of the things that we would call spiritual disciplines. It's prayer and fasting and Sabbath and generosity and
Mm-hmm.
service and witness and evangelism and things like that.
And
So I think,
I have to jump in because we're
yep.
teaching a class on the Sermon on the Mount starting Wednesday, and the first three things you mentioned, generosity, prayer, and fasting, are the three things that Jesus mentions about
Mhm.
spiritual disciplines. So apparently, we're reading from the same book on something.
But yeah, I think as we do those things, we develop, a connection with the Father and a connection with Jesus. And And then we want to become more like Jesus and to do the things that Jesus did. And in doing that, I think it kind of melts away that heart of, entitlement, or that, this is something I deserve.
In the early vineyard days, they would talk about the kingdom as being the rule and the reign of God, like what God's up to, kind of thing. Yeah. Does that strike you as how you understand, or would you add any other descriptors to it?
I mean, yeah, but I think I would. So as you were talking about, the word just love hits me. God is love. And that is a key part of his kingdom and his interaction and relationship with us. Everything he does is out of love. And so if his kingdom is in us, then we should be embodying that. His love should be pouring through us to others.
Are there times that it just breaks your heart to do that?
I think there's been times where, yes, it's been a joy and fun to see God work in the lives of other people. And then there's been times where we wonder, did we really do anything? Did we help this person or not? Because there's been some tragic things that we've had to deal with several people that have lived in our house. One of them, right now is a young man that may be going to prison for life for murder. So it's just some rough things where we have to trust God that God's in this, and he's got a plan, and we may not know how he works all of this out, but we trust that he will. So we have to relinquish control of what happens with our generosity and how we exhibit it.
Are you ready, Boots? Start walking.